Hi everyone and welcome along to the 22nd of December. Let's see what we've got behind the door today. We have a shiny red apple carved with a lovely shape, and this is a custom in China where they give lucky red apples around Christmas Eve. Grab your paints and let's get started. So we need an apple. So we'll do just a slight sort of heart shape at the top and actually a little bit of a heart shape at the bottom. And then we'll do a star shape. So and then a dot in the middle where we're going to put a line to all the different points of that star, which is going to help us carve it. And then we're going to have a tree branch and we're going to do a little loop around the top. Just do a little extra bit there. Can't help myself. Okay, so we're going to lightly rub this out and then get painting. So in China, the colour red is very lucky. And you get a lot of red apples, so the red apples are considered very lucky, so they carve them with lovely patterns, and they can be wrapped in paper or stenciled with lovely little boxes, gift boxes, and they're given I believe on Christmas Eve for good luck, because the Mandarin word for apple, now my pronunciation is going to be terrible, as I read it is pinggu. Sounds similar to the word for Christmas Eve, which is pingan-ye. Please, if you can pronounce that properly, tell me what I'm up to. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. But how lovely and how simple. So that is a little mixture of cadmium yellow and yellow ochre. And then we're going to paint in our Christmas tree branch. So whilst I've got yellow ochre, I'm just going to paint that like that, and then we can mix up some greens. So I've played around with the greens in my palette. This one here is a mixture of this nice bright green, yellow ochre, and a tiny bit of French ultramarine blue. I'm going to put this one on first with my 4/10 brush, and then I'll add little low lights of the other green, which is the sort of more foresty green here, with a mixture of blue and brown, one that we're a bit more familiar with. And with the size 4/10 brush we can get lovely little pine needles going. Try and make sure that your pine needles are angled sort of towards the tip of the branch, rather than just sort of sticking out. They always angle themselves in the direction of growth. You don't need sort of this darker colour on every little bit, but it certainly makes for a nice bit of variation. And even though we don't paint in sort of proper realism, it's always nice to just elevate your painting a bit, make it just even nicer. Okay, we're now going to paint the lucky red of our apple, and I think, well, firstly get your brush clean, there we go, and then some red. And I think some Alizarin crimson would be really nice too. I'm just going to let it bleed into that corner, that's okay. And we'll probably build up the colours of this. I'm going to start with my size 0 brush. And I like the idea that these apples would be nice and shiny, so we'll leave a little bit of an unpainted shine on there. And then I'm just going to allow it to dry a little bit, and we'll add some glazes of more red tones just to make it a little bit more exciting. But what I'm going to do, I sort of quite purposefully allowed that colour to bleed in there, because what I want to do is use that slightly peachier colour to create the different sort of faces on the carved apple interior there. It's only subtle, but you can see the difference. So we'll let that dry. I can put in a little yellow ochre stalk, let it dry, and then add a few more red shades. Okay, let's add some more red to our apple. I think, personally, apples are one of the hardest fruits to draw, and no, to paint. I don't mind the drawing bit, but my apples always look a bit, I don't know, a bit sort of laboured when I paint them. Not that realistic, so this is good practice for me, and I hope it is useful for you as well. So what I'll do next is I'll get some slightly more concentrated colour. I'll also add like a tiny bit of blue, a tiny bit of brown. I just want to deepen that colour just a tiny bit more. And also, whilst I'm at the blue and brown, we need a little dark string. I'm not 100% sure whether they actually hang them on trees, but I like the idea that they might. Okay, so and there we go. That is a rather lovely Chinese good luck apple carved for Christmas Eve. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow.